Whether you're looking for a fun idea for a date night, or if you're looking for a way to entertain family and friends, a raclette party is always a great idea. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you need and how to set it up so that you too can have a very successful, fun, and delicious raclette party in your own home. First of all, you need a raclette stove or tabletop grill. This one is by Swissmar. It's one of the more common ones that I know are out there, and it consists of a base with these coils that get hot, and then you have two choices typically of a top here, and one is this granite that we have, and obviously you can tell it's been loved and used a lot, but it also comes in a more non-stick with a higher rim and a lighter top. We don't like that so much. We love this one. And you have a little dial over here and you can adjust the temperature. If you're using the granite stone, I recommend that you preheat this at least 15-20 minutes before you actually want to eat, and then I'm going to show you how you actually make it. But I'll show you at the end of the video, once this is all set up and we're going to start eating, how this all works. This raclette grill comes with these little pans, and that is where you melt your cheese in, and I like to use these little wooden scrapers to get the cheese out of the little pans or trays. And raclette actually comes from French. It means, comes from the word racler, the verb racler, and that means to scrape, because traditionally raclette is actually a type of cheese, and that was melted over a fire, and people would scrape the melted cheese onto whatever they were serving it on. So I'm going to take you into my kitchen and show you all the ingredients that I'm going to prep for my raclette party. Before I take you into my kitchen, I just wanted to quickly show you how I set up my table. We have an antique wooden table, and because there's a lot of heat here, I like to use these seagrass placemats. And for plates, we use regular plates, but you can also get specific raclette plates online or in stores. I don't really like them so much because I feel like then I have a single-use item that I'm only using for raclette and maybe a cheese fondue. That's why I am pretty happy with just using our regular white plates that I'm showing you here. And then we have forks and knives, and of course some napkins, because you will be touching some food here, and the raclette cheese is very high in fat and oily, and that's why you might get greasy fingers, so it's always a good idea to have some pretty napkins and the plates. In the kitchen here, I am starting the potatoes. The smaller, the better. These are a little bit big. I have this little lid here that keeps the potatoes at the right temperature. And while they're cooking, I am cleaning mushrooms. I don't like to use water on mushrooms because they just soak it up. So I'm brushing the dirt off and then cutting them into small slices. We like to sometimes either put them in the little trays or grill them on the tabletop. And then in the winter, it can be challenging to find good tomatoes because it's not really tomato season, and this is why I'm using the sugar plum tomatoes from Trader Joe's. But any variety you can find, probably canned tomatoes would be a good choice too. I like to add some bread. Not everybody loves potatoes, and I am slicing some home-baked sourdough bread. You can use any bread. Sometimes the sandwich bread in the square slices is a little bit better for the small trays or pans. We love to use onion with it, and I'm pre-slicing everything because even though we do spend some time at the table, I like to serve things that are ready to go. And here they come into a little bowl. We also love garlic. Not everybody does. I personally love garlic. Most people either love or hate it. But I find that the flavor of garlic just works really well with the raclette cheese, and that's why we always love to have a lot of garlic at the table, and I find that when you cook it, it actually doesn't taste quite so strong. Next up, we have some cold cuts, whether you get them from, and I always seem to be struggling with these packages. You can either get them from the deli or get a package with a selection. This one is a Spanish selection that I really like, but sausages or cooked chicken, some meats like that would also be really perfect for your raclette party. Here finally is the raclette cheese. This is a pre-sliced cheese from Trader Joe's. I'm so happy to see that they are carrying that now, because for some time it used to be challenging to find raclette cheese, and these come in perfect slices and sizes that work really well with the little trays. Because I knew that we had somebody coming that wasn't so fond of the raclette cheese flavor, I'm also offering another cheese, and anything with a high fat content. This is a Fontina cheese that melts well, would work really well. Some Gouda cheese, or I mean basically any cheese will work, but I really like the Fontina because it has a mild taste and a very high fat content and just melts really beautifully. My potatoes are finally cooked, and I am barely able to touch them and put them in a bowl so that I can place them on the table. So here is my set table. We have the cold cuts. I actually brought out some butter as well. I have a knife for the garlic cloves and the potatoes. And then over here we have the tomatoes, we have the bread, the raclette cheese, and some cornichons, some pickles. Where did that come from? Dill pickles, probably in one word. Some pickles are always a great choice for your raclette party. And we're going to get started. People weren't really as enthusiastic because they knew that we're on camera, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse of what the actual raclette party looks like. You can either place some cheese in the tray just alone, or you can add something on the bottom and then put the cheese on top. And sometimes, as you can see here with the person to my right, it's actually my son, you can add some butter to the onions and saute them in the little trays, or you can put something on top of the cheese. It is a bit of a slow food event because you're going to have to wait for the cheese to melt, but I think that's the beauty of it, that it's not a fast eat your plate and be done kind of dinner, but actually it's a little bit of a drawn out party. And yes, you need to check on your cheese every so often. Now here the cheese goes on top of my potato, and I am scraping it out of the tray, out of the little pan, directly over the potatoes. This is the super traditional way to eat raclette. And you can really do anything you want. There's so many choices and ideas. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.